Hello everybody, welcome back. If you're enjoying the series so far and you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up and subscribe. Today on the culmination of our first season in Serie C Group C with Catania, you can always have trouble saying that, in the Sicilian Defence, and losing in the semi-finals of the playoffs to Perugia. We are back playing in Serie C, Group C for the new season, and we've been a bit busy in the transfer market. Or have we? Welcome to the Sicilian Defence. Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Sicilian Defence. My name's Mark, and on today's episode, of course, as is always at the end of the season, we do the review of what's happened and also a transfer special, what's coming up in the next episodes. Well, next episode, what's coming up in the rest of the series, but we will start with this end of season review on today's episode and a quick look at the things that have gone before. And as you'll see, it's been an eventful first season for sure. Right, so who have we brought in? It was quite an exciting season. Pietro Rovagalier coming from Chievo Verona on loan. 16 appearances, 8 goals, 5 assists, 7.23 from him. Stefano Minelli, he had a bit of an iffy start, but he coming from Padova. 9 appearances, 1 from the bench, and was an average rating of 7.21. Luca Rizzo coming from Foggia, 32 appearances, 1 from the bench, 6 goals, 7 assists, and 7.08 was his thing. Alessandro Confenti, the goalkeeper, also coming from Chievo Verona, made 3 appearances and had a average rating of 7. Zanini coming from Regania, 19 appearances, 8 on the bench, 4 assists, 6.88. Manuel De Paula coming from Vitus Verona, 6 appearances, 10 as a substitute, 1 goal, 6.80. Pietro Visconti coming from Pontedera, 2 appearances, 7 from the bench, 6.70. Martin Satriano, a striker, coming from Inter, 1 start, 13 substitute appearances, scored 1 goal, and had an average rating of 6.69. And then Manjanic, coming from Florentina, striker, made no appearances, didn't do a lot at all really. The board very pleased with the deal to sign Luca Rizzo, mainly due to getting the player to agree to a lower wage than we would have expected to pay for somebody of his ability. Really. Right, outgoings. Reginaldo turned a few things up, went to Ostend for 30,000. 4 appearances he's made there, 11 substitutes, and scored 1 goal, averaging 6.87. I presume that is for his new club and not for us. We'll do a quick check actually. 15 appearances, 1 goal. 4 and 11, yes. So that isn't technically for us. That was ours. He made 19 appearances for us, scored 8 goals, and had an average rating of 7.12. So he's probably not got off to the best of starts at Ostend. Of Vincente, he went to Ave for 28,000, making 10 appearances, a 6.6. and Miguel Angel Martinez went to Alicon for 45,000, 2 appearances, 2 off the bench, only a 6.30. I'm glad we got rid of him, really. Anyway, that's the incomings and outgoings. The board content with a deal to sell Reginaldo. We're pleased to get the player's salary off our wages. So was I, and he was getting a bit old as well, but he did score a few goals for us, so can't be totally miffed. Right, what happens here? I think there's still stuff going on, which we won't come to, but that's the playoff thingies. But the expectation was to reach the playoffs, which we did. We had an average home attendance of 11,169, which was 55% of capacity. Hopefully get bit better crowds this coming season. Competition top scorer was Emmanuel Pecorino with 16 goals. The board were pleased that the team reached the playoff in the Liga Pro Girone C. However, at one point we looked like serious promotion contenders, so that does take a little bit of the shine off the achievement. I agree. We should have overcome Bari. We bottled it just at the wrong time. It was a memorable year for Catania, who got off to a tremendous start in September that propelled them into first place, providing them with the platform to go on and seal a playoff place. Should have won it. That's all I can say. Not quite sure what happened there. I thought we'd lost the screens for a minute. Moments to remember. Biggest win, our 5-1 win against Juve Stabia way back in October. Match to remember was a 7-4 win against Ternana in the Liga Pro Girone C back in December. Quite a match that, as I remember. 1-1, 2-3, yeah. But we did come out on top. That's the main thing. And goal of the season is from Ravgalie. I think this was a good goal, actually, from memory. I'm not sure I can actually see it from here. We'll have to go into here. And we pick Ravgalie's 67th minute goal. Was our 4th. They did get a consolation immediately afterwards, but Clayton getting that ball forward to Pecorino, and Ravgalie just let loose from outside the box. Fantastic. And that is goal of the season for Ravgalie, which was really good. Right, finances wise, reputations held steady, no sponsorship deals, 168 million sponsorship, 694 broadcast revenue, 365 corporate and hospitality, 325 matchday commercial, total merchandise sales 503,000, non-domestic sales 50,000, shirt sales we sold 4,316 shirts, and top seller was Piccolo, Maserani, Rizzo, Masso and Menar. The team of the season then, we rotated the team a fair amount this season. However, our key players played a major role in how the season turned out. And as you'll see, most of them getting a better than 7 average rating. And the team were Santoro in goal, Zanini, Tonakai, Clayton and Albertini, and our backline, Diallo and Rizzo in front of them in midfield. And then the attacking midfield was Piccolo and Maserani, with Reginaldo and Pecorino up front. So no place for Ravgalie, I notice from that. They didn't appear in our team of the season. Accolades wise, did win manager of the season, is that right? 2020 season. Okay. And fans player of the season was Piccolo, Antonio Piccolo. Young Player of the Season, Emmanuel Pecorino. Signing of the Season, Luca Rizzo. I think that's pretty well been transmitted. Pietro Ravgalier was the goal of the season. We've already seen that. Top goal scorer Pecorino, scoring 19 goals this season. Not bad for a 19-year-old. It's just a shame he's not our player, really, isn't it? Piccolo was the most assists with 17. Most Player of the Match awards, Emmanuel Pecorino again, 7 Player of the Match awards. Piccolo, best average rating of 7.2, and the most passes completed was from Isco, 55 passes completed. So he was very, very good at that. Record breakers, Pecorino scoring 3 goals in the match. Most goals in the match, 3. Piccolo, 17 assists. We've already done that one. Man of the matches, 7. Clayton had the worst discipline, 12 yellow cards. He obviously needs to behave himself, and the fastest goal came from Pietro Ravgalier, 1 minute and 9 seconds for that one. So that is our roundup of the season to date, and what we'll do now is we will go through to the 1st of June for our first part of our transfer roundup. But before we do our first transfer roundup, because I don't think there's a lot happened since that first roundup, but we do like to have a quick look at the league table. As you saw, or as you know, we missed out by 1 point, which is really annoying, as we were very close behind them at 1 point, in as much as we had a couple of games in hand and blew it somewhat. So that's how we ended up. 23 games won, 6 drawn, 7 losses, 82 goals for, 48 goals against. So when you look at both Perlomo and Bari, while they didn't score more than us, they didn't let in as many goals either. That may have also been our downfall, losing by the odd goal, etc, etc. So we need to try and tighten that defence up this season and not give away so many goals. Some of them were silly goals, I have to admit. So that's the overall table. Home record wise, we were second to Bari, equal on points. Did win lost 2 more games, won 1 game. They drew more than us, and that's how it ended up. In the home record, away from home, we were the better team away from home, better than Bari by 1 point. They lost 3 games away from home. We lost 4. Palermo, Francavilla, Cavese and Paganese, 9-1, 5 drawn, 4 lost, 43-4, 30 against, 13 goal difference. What was the goal difference in... didn't do that bit, did I? 39-4, 18 against, 21 goal difference against their 26. So they were better at home than we were. First half of the season, we were second best by 7 points to Bari, so we must have had a good second half. So we were adrift of them by 7 points. 7 points, 7 goal difference there is, by 3 points in that first half of the season, just by virtue of that 1 loss more than them. And then in the second half of the season, we obviously came good, got the 3 points back, so pretty much on an even keel, having won 1 game and lost 1 game less than them. So it was all down in a way to the 2 points. 2 points deducted as well. I forgot all about those 2 points. So we were pretty much level peg with Bari. That was Titana. That was not Bari. Bari was down by another point, so they were 4 points adrift of us. Goal difference wise, we weren't as good as them, so we would have lost out in the end. But I think those 2 points did for us that we were financial thingies that we were bludgeoned with. That's the overall table, and the last 5 games of the season, as you can see, both Barry and us fell away somewhat, and pretty much level pegging as it was. But Paganese had a really good run in, won all 5 of the last 5 games, and scoring 15 points, which did them the world of good, I'm sure. The media prediction, how did it all end up? Well, media reckoned we would finish 4th. Bari, they predicted, would finish 1st, and they did. Palermo 3rd, and they did. Ternana were 2nd, finished 4th, so we basically swapped places with Ternana, and then Juve Sabia, they got right 5th, and then it all crumbled about at the bottom of the table. They didn't reckon on Cavese, Vertabase and Foggia going down. They thought it would be Biscagli, Turris, and they did think Foggia would go down in 17th. So there we go. That's how all the season panned out. We'll have a look in a wee while what they think we will be doing this coming season. Right, in the meantime, let's go through. See, there's quite a bit going on. Nothing coming in. Pietro Rovgalier was the last in, and Vincente was the last going out. So that means nothing has happened in the transfer market to date. As you will see, we have quite a lot going on. Players going out. Let's have a look at ins first. Santoro, we've offered, or we had already agreed a deal, so he will definitely be coming in. We've had a couple of rejections there. Mattia, he's definitely going to be joining us on the 1st of July. 26-year-old defensive midfield player, has a potential ability of 4 stars. So we'll have a closer look at him when he does come in. We have Comi, who is a striker. He's a target man. Pro Vercelli, he's coming in from. He's agreed a deal, joins us on the 1st of July. And Danny Garcia, also a striker, advanced forward, 22 years old. He will join us also on the 1st of July. So we will have a look at those when they come in. We have got players going out. Strano, 20-year-old midfielder. He's going to Licata, joins on the 1st. Isco, we'll see him leaving us, 38 years old, so not too bothered. Central midfield goes out on the 1st. And Nana Welbeck, he's going to Sarajevo, and he leaves on the 1st of July as well. So it's all happening on the 1st of July, which means that we're probably better off coming back on the 1st of July, see what's happened between now and then, as we jump forward in our time machine. And you come back on the 1st of July, and we have some incoming transfers and outgoing transfers. Come to that. I think we've already mentioned them, but we will go through them one by one now. Just have a quick look. First in, then Gian Mario Comi from Pro Vercelli. He's on a free. He is a striker. Prefers to be either a target man or a pressing forward. 29 years old. So going outside our age group a little bit, but to be honest, one of the interesting things that I have found is that in Italy, it seems to be a lot of older players. Now, I don't know whether it's because of where they are or what it is, but it does seem to be quite a lot of older players. So actually get youngsters that actually have the ability that we're looking for just aren't there. So that's how it goes, really. So yes, he's an out-and-out striker. Currently 3.5 star. Current ability, he's got obviously potential ability is going to be pretty similar. Finishing at 12, penalty taking 13. His mental attributes are reasonable, and his physical attributes are also on the plus side. 6'1" as well. So he's got reasonable jumping reach as well. Heading is quite good. So jumping reach and heading, hopefully that will stand us in good stead from corners, etc, etc. I'm sure we did that. As we say, he's coming in from Pro Vercelli. He's been there for 3 seasons. He got 7.20, 37 games, 13 goals last time out, 2 assists and 4 Player of the Match awards. So, I think he's before that he was in Vicenza on loan. He had played for Pro Vercelli while they were in Serie B, and he has got a record of Serie A and Serie B, also having played for Milan albeit for one season. Didn't actually get any game time, but he has been around a bit. But having said all of that, a lot of it on loan, and he is consistent goal-wise, albeit he's probably most prolific season was last season. So we'll see how he does. Gian Mario Comi is the gentleman that we need to be looking out for, and he's our first incoming. Santoro, we already know about. He's coming from Bologna. We had him on loan last season. 3.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential ability. All stacks up. Goalkeeper, sweeper, keeper, can play in either of the roles. Been on loan with us last season, 29 games, 31 he conceded, which been just a bit more than one a game. 8 clean sheets and 1 player of the match, just 7.01 overall. And he has again played for a number of sides, including Serie A, and then he's sort of been about Bologna. He played for a couple of seasons on loan at Sabandese, where he played 17 games, but then joined us last season, and we've now got him in on a freebie as an end of contract. I think it was his contract was running out, so we got him in. Mattia Meta, a 3.5 star deep lying playmaker, can also play in the Mazzara role and the advanced playmaker roles. Prefers to be in the central midfield, or he can play slightly worse off, but he can play in that defensive midfield role if we want him to. 3.5 star current ability, 4 star potential ability. He's 26 years old. Attributes again, mental, very good. Physical is good. His jumping reach isn't probably there, but in midfield we won't want him to do jumping too often. But the rest of it is quite good. His finishing is fantastic. First touch, dribbling, his passing's okay, and his technique is okay. So hopefully he'll be that little bit of grindstone in the middle. Probably tackling could have been done with a bit higher to win balls in midfield, but we'll see how he goes. As I say, he's been around. Was at Barry last season, so we've nicked him off them. We perhaps need to go back and have a look at the Barry game just to see whether he played against us last season. 34 appearances, 1 goal, 4 assists, and 1 player of the match. 6.75 was his average rating last year. Hopefully he can do a bit better, but he's been around mainly in this particular Group Z. Regina, Cantazaro for a number of years. Obviously a good serviceman to them, and then played at Barry. Been played in Serie B with Regina on a couple of occasions. Didn't actually get any games in that time, but then went out on loan. He's been around, and hopefully, as I say, his attributes sort of will stack up. Danny Garcia, he's another striker we've brought in to mix it up front. He's probably not as good as Comi, but he has got potential. He's a 2.5 star current ability, so he's probably one for the future, maybe. We'll see how he gets on. 3.5 star potential ability. As I say, he's probably not quite so good as Comi, but he will be there as backup, and looking to perhaps bring him on in a couple of years and be the player that we want him to be. Outgoings, that's incomings for the moment then, and outgoings, Nana Welbeck, he's gone to FK Sarajevo. All these on a free. Marinho Isco, who was 38 years old, he's gone to Gimnasia I can't pronounce that. He's gone. He's gone there. Not quite sure if they're an Argentinian side. Actually, he's gone to. But anyway, he's moved out, and Francesco Strano, who has gone to Lecata, who I think is one of our affiliate sides. I think that's what that colour means. And he's gone out on a free as well. So offloading a few. I think Isco probably is the one that we will miss more than anything. His aggression, determination, leadership, and play off the ball in that midfield role. But to be honest, at 38 years old, he'd done us a good service. In fact, let's go in and have a look. I just think he had a good season last season coming from Juve Stabia. He had been with us before, sold him to Chievo Verona. They sold him on free to Crotone. Cosenza, I'm not quite sure how he moved from there to there, and Juve Stabia, and then he's come back to Catania. I can't say that for life of money, and I should be able to by now. And obviously had a if you like, a season, just a sort of cheerio season, really. 2 goals, 3 assists, a 6.80. So all in all, he's we'll say cheerio to him. He's been a long servant, not for us, but obviously previously. So a fan favourite, no doubt. Right, that's the transfers. There is a bit of transfer activity going on at the moment, not a lot. Rosia is looks like he may be leaving us. I'm not quite sure. We haven't done anything with that yet. We'll see how that one progresses. Loki Nesta, a central defender, has rejected our contract, so nothing. It's a bit quiet on that front at the moment, but I'm sure it'll change. The schedule has come in, the new season, and the first competitive game that we will play will be in the Coppa Italia Fanta first qualifying round, as yet to be drawn. I believe that draw is a 7-stage draw, so when it gets drawn, they will draw first, second, third, and so on up to semi-finals, pretty much. Bit of a weird one, but we'll see how that progresses. Obviously, if there's any teams of note, we probably won't actually, if we get that far, we probably won't actually pick any of these games up until we get into the main season. If we'll get a game early season, we may well have a look at that, but otherwise we'll play those as they come once we get into the season. So our first episode 11, which will be our first episode of the season, will be Potenza and Palermo. Potenza at home and Palermo away from home in Group C of Serie C, and they will be coming up in episode 11, so watch out for that. Other key things to watch out for, obviously there's a few different sides in here this time around. Just having a look to see if there's anybody in here. Don't think there's anybody that we played in the playoffs, so they've not come in. So yeah, our last game of the season will be against Catanzaro on the 24th of April, and Christmas, there is a gap at Christmas. Always have a Christmas break here in Italy. Potenza will be our last game of the first half, and Palermo the first game of the second half. So that's where it splits. We play Potenza effectively twice in the first half, and that's where we pick up will be Palermo. Whether that's an episode, we will have to wait and see. It all depends on how things pan out, of course. Right, I think that's enough for our July hop. We're now going to hop to the 1st of August, and I'm hoping there's quite a bit more activity have gone on in between the 1st of July and the 1st of August. Let's have a look. And you come back as we look at the schedule. As you'll see, some friendly matches did get put in. We have been playing and I won't have a look at these too much at the moment because it will give away some of the players that we've come in. We'll go straight through to the transfer screen. One sitting on there at the moment, and it is the only one, is Vrikis. I think, is that a loan? Yeah, that's a loan for till the end of the season for that. Right, let's have a look. Danny Garcia was the last one. We've only brought one more player in as it stands. Martin Pekar has come in from Eintracht Frankfurt on loan for the season. We were looking for a wide player. Couldn't find one that fitted our requirements then, if you like. And we have actually got him, albeit on loan. He is contracted until the end of the season. He's contracted at Eintracht Frankfurt until 2025. So he's not going to run out of contract this year. So we may well have to see how this pans out. Obviously, if he's that good, it might be that we can get him back on loan next year. Maybe get him back with a fee in there. What do they want for him? I've clicked out of that. Oh, only 87. Ooh, we get some money. It might allow us to do something. We'll have to see. It will give us a chance to see how he plays. Anyway, he is currently at a 3.5 star current ability, 4, possibly 5 star potential ability. If we don't have him, somebody else will, I think. Can play on either wing. Slightly better on the left wing than the right wing, but can play as a winger on the right, an inverted winger or an inside forward on the left wing is his preferred thing. Does he like attack? He's all right on attack. Yeah, nothing abnormal there. So he's good. His crossing is 13, which is, we obviously with a wide player we need that nice crossing, good dribbling, good first touch. He is good at passing, which is good. His technique's good. Anticipation's probably a little bit lower than what we would have liked. Would have been nice if that had probably been in the double figures. He's got flair. He's good off the ball. He's good pace, acceleration, and agility, and his natural fitness is quite good. So all in all, he looks like he may well be a good addition to the squad, as it were. So he is Slovenian, and joins us on a season-long loan. Let's look forward to some great things from him. Going out, I think on the last screen of the last segment, Rosier, we saw him in there. He has actually gone. He's gone to Mirandes for £50,000. So he's left us. Giacomo Rosier, who's 28. He was 28, and he's left us for 50,000 to go and play for them. So again, I don't think he was. I think he might have played one game or one substitute game for us last season, so he wasn't in and around the squad. I did hope that there was going to be a few more incomings. We do have quite a few on trial, and as we go back to the pre-season friendlies now, you may see that there are a few names in here that we are potentially going to looking to bring in. We're in the process of just sort of working it out, so by the time we get down to the first game, we hopefully will have all that sorted out. We beat Basel 3-2 in a friendly. 2 goals from Mena and a goal from Yao Silva. He is on loan with us. He is a defender. I think that was a goal from a corner. Sturm Graz, we lost 3-2. Goals from Diallo and Amasso on the penalty spot. Tonin, who has been on loan with us, he scored in the 1-1 draw with Reggiana. And then a 3-3 draw with Cavese, who we will play later in the season. They are in the same division as us. I'm not quite sure how we got friendlies up, but so we did. We are conceding. We're still leaky in defence. I'm looking to to really try and start to block off that thing. Manelli's in goal, but I'm tempted to possibly bring. We have tried some other goals. Santoro there. Nobody's really been convincing in goal yet, and we really need that convincing. Manelli there did a 7.4 in the Coppa Italia Fanta first round, which we played Bischelli, who we played in the division last season. I think they dropped down, got relegated, but we played them. We beat them 2-0. Goals from Pecorino and Martin Pekka. The aforementioned Martin Pekka scoring there. Also, the other person we need to be looking out for is another wide player, Francesco Golfo. Here he is, 26 years old. He is a 3.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential ability, 26 years old. Stacks up again, looking quite good in the areas that we want him. The only thing probably he's not particularly clever is his crossing. His finishing is good. Passing technique, natural fitness is good, pace, stamina, acceleration and agility. All in all, he's not too bad. He is short, 5'5", but he gets around quite a bit. Can play in central, can play on the right side. He's got a lot better, and if we're really pushed, can play up front as well. So he's a useful player to have. Francesco Golfo. He is currently with Juve Sabia. Oh no, he wasn't. He's with. I'm not quite sure who he's with actually. Looking at this, one would suggest Trapani. Looks like they've had him on loan there and there and there. I'm not sure who he's with. Who is he with? Let's where are we? Francesco Golfo. That's what we want. He's on trial with Catania. His contract info. He's actually free. He's a free agent, which is why we got him on trial. He's with us until the 13th of August, so we'll have a good look at him and decide where he is. In fact, what I'm going to do very quickly is just take you in and just show you one of his goals, because he is very, very. He's really quite good. You'll see in this one we were 3 goals to the good, and then they came back. So this is really where we need to be able to shut the game off. And here's Golfo, comes in, lovely shot. Look at that. And while we're at it, we might as well have a look at his second goal as well, because I think it was equally as good. Cross in, yeah. So he given the opportunity, he can certainly put them away, and excellent play from him. And then in the Fanta, Pekka, who's come in on loan, as we've talked about. In fact, I think he came on as a substitute in this game. And we had a goal disallowed through Masso. And Rovgalia with the cross, Pecorino heading it back, and Pekka just basically hit it on the volley. So he looks like a useful player as well. So hopefully that's where we are going. Right, without any more to do, we're going to the final segment of this particular transfer and season roundup. What we're going to do is we're going to round up. Hopefully we go to just before these first games against Potenza and Palermo, and we'll do a roundup of where we are prior to those games. Look at the last friendly, see how we got against Benevento in the second round of the Coppa Italia, and from there we will then have a look and see what the media say that where we're going to end up this season, basically, and see if they're any better than they were last season. Let's go to the start of season transfer roundup. And you come back to us on the 22nd of August. And the season is underway, as you'll see. The next episode, episode 11, will start from here. We are on the day at our first game against Potenza. But but that will come in the next episode. What we have got for you is the final roundup, which I'm going to do right now, and then we'll have a look at that. Right, as you'll see, Regina have beaten Cosenza in the opening game of the season, and 1-0 by the looks of it, and that's means we're up and running, but we're more interested in what's been happening since you were last with us. Pinto has had an offer in for him. It was nowhere near his expected fee, so we've rejected that one. He won't be too happy about it, I'm sure, but we have rejected it. Right, since you were last with us, I think Martin Pecker was the last person in Eintracht Frankfurt on loan. We have brought in some other players. This one really did. Everybody turned their heads on this one, because we have brought in Manuel Lori. Hang on a minute. Let's click on it. Manuel Lori is 39 years old. Got rid of 2 38 years old. Got rid of 1 38-year-old. Why would I bring in a 39-year-old? It's a good question. Very good question. But we have brought him in. As you'll see, his stats do stack up quite well. He is a central midfielder, a 3-star current ability, 3-star obviously potential ability. I don't think he has much potential at all, but he can play in defensive midfield, or he can play in this central midfield. And in central midfield, he is a 3.5-star deep line playmaker, central midfielder, Carrero, never can say it, Carrelero. Anyway, he is good in those positions, so we brought him in, and he is just for 1 season. He's here until the end of this season. It's almost like a season loan, except we've brought him in. He was free. It's not cost us anything. We're paying him £450 a week in wages. So it's like a loan, if you like, and gives us a little bit of backup in that central area. But as you'll see, attributes wise, first touch 12, passing 14, tackling 13. Like I said, we needed that player that's going to win balls for us in midfield. Don't need to have him running about like some loony. Just want him to be that person in the middle of the field that's going to pick up the ball, pass it. His passing is good. His tackling is good. His technique's good. He's good at penalties as well, by the way. He's got an 18 rating for penalties. So I think he will be top of the pile when it comes to penalties. Anticipation's good. His composure's good. He's good at decisions. His positioning is good. Teamwork, vision, work rate. His leadership, so he will be our captain for the season as well. Good for the youngsters coming in there, and his balance is reasonable as well. 6 foot. So I just think for 1 season, we have got an option on him for a further season. So if he is that good throughout the season, never mind that he's 40 next year, we'll keep him going, and we'll have him in. So that is Manuel Lori. Remember the name. He coming from Cittadella, which I think they released him, possibly because of his age. 29 appearances last season, 4 assists, a 6.84 in Serie B. Maybe a little bit too fierce for him. Maybe in Group C he'll be good. As you see, he's played quite a few games for them, and he's been around. He's been in Serie A, Serie B. So he's got a wise old head on him, and I'm hoping that he will be a star for us. Francesco Golfo, we pointed him out on the last segment. He has come in, got him on a freebie. We couldn't initially get him in because of the wages that he wanted, so we've had to offload. We'll come to those in a minute, but we've had to do a bit of repositioning. A couple of players out allowed us the space in our finances in order to bring him in. He is 3.5-star current ability, inverted winger, inside forward. I think we mentioned this on the last one. He can play on left, right, prefers the left, can play on the right, can play central, and he can play as an out-and-out attacker if we need him to. And as you'll see, already non-competitively played 1 game, scored 2 goals, player of the match, an 8.10, and he's played in the Coppa Italia Fanta one game at 8.5, so it was particularly fantastic in that, but hopefully he'll do the business for us. Gabriel Machenghina, he's a goalkeeper, and we said before, one problem we have got is a leaky defence, a really leaky defence that we need to sort out somehow or other. So brought him in, and I think he is going to be the backup to Minelli, might even take over from Minelli, and Santoro has actually been dropped. He's not in the registered squad as it currently stands, which is, I'm sure for him, is a bit disappointing. We might have to send him out on loan, possibly, for the season. But yeah, there's a toss-up between Santoro or him. 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, 25 years old, could become a long-term stalwart of Catania, coming from Potenza. So interestingly, the first game that we play will be back on his old stomping ground. Made 37 appearances for him last season, so I think he must have been their main goalkeeper. Conceded 45 goals, 6 clean sheets, 1 player of the match, only a 6.75, but hopefully he'll do the stuff for us this season. Has been around, played in Serie E and Serie B as well. So yeah, he's been he's got a little bit of knowledge of what's required. So he's come in there. And finally, Rodrigo Gruth, he's come in on loan from Parma. A defender, again trying to shore up this leaky defence. One thing to mention here, my scouts did say that he was a sort of 3.5, 4-star when it actually came down to it, when we actually got him in, because we had a rush. We didn't have that central defender that we wanted. Maybe rushed ourselves a little bit. We've got him in, and he's not as good as he's not quite as good as we thought he was going to be. He's only a 3-star ball playing central defender. So we'll see how that goes. He might be that he becomes backup for some of the others. As I say, he's on loan from Parma for the season. So outgoing then, I think last time was Rosia. Vrikas has gone on loan for the season to Olympic Nicosia. So he's gone there. Josip Majentic has gone to Catanzaro for 23,000, increasing to 49,000, with obviously add-ons and things like that. So he'll hopefully be okay there. But to be honest, with Golfo and Pekar in the squad, there was no way he was going to get any game time really. So it was only right that we moved him on. And likewise with Soreo, he 31-year-old striker again. His stats are quite good though, aren't they? Natural fitness and strength, but he never really did it for us last season. And as we have a quick look, 15 appearances. I scored 8 goals, admittedly 7.01, 1 player of the match, but he wasn't outstanding. Otherwise we'd have hung on to him a bit like Pecorino. So he's gone, brought us in 30,000. As I said, that did free up the wages to bring in Golfo. So they went out, Golfo came in, as you'll see. I think more Jessup went out, but then that freed it up and that sort of sorted things out. So that's the ins and outs. Transfer centre wise, as I say, there's nothing really going on there. Financially, we have 36,000 left in the transfer budget. We have a wage budget of 62,000, of which we're spending 61,654. Haven't really got a lot of room in there, about £500 to bring anybody else in. Not that I really do think we need anybody, but we could actually tweak that a little bit, which would probably give us another £500 or so, which could push that up to 63, possibly there or thereabouts, if we were to do that. That's the finances. Then one other thing I was going to have a quick look at. Yes, so well, 2 things really. Let's have a look at the team report, and we can see the squad depth that we've got now. So up front, let's start from the back. Manelli apparently is our top goalkeeper. Then the goalkeeper brought in Gabriele Machiganani, I don't know, and then Santoro will be the third, only a 3-star. They're both 3.5 star, so quite good there. Probably the only place that we do need it are on the left and right of defence, is probably where we need a player or two. We'll keep our eyes open before the window closes, just to see if there is anybody about that we can bring in that's potentially a 3.5 star or more. That's about the level we want at the moment. Clayton and Silvestri, not really bringing anybody in there. And as I say, the player that we did bring in, Guth, on loan, he's not he's not batched up where we thought he was going to. So bit of a damp squib there. But anyway, so much for our scouts doing the right thing. In midfield, Manuel Lorri, we talked about him, and Mata, both 3.5 star, so we've got that little bit of stability in there. We've also got Mazzarini, who can play in that central midfield role as well as Delalio and Rizzo. So we've got real good structure in that middle of the central midfield, which we like. Pekar, he's the man, and Golfo are the left-sided things. Piccolo third, of course, we don't want to miss out on Piccolo. Pekar, Piccolo and Mazzarani on the right side, so we have a bit of depth on either side of there. Our up front strikers, we've got Pecorino, Ravgalie, Comi, and the other player that we brought in, of course, Danny Garcia, is down 2.5 stars, so that might be a bit of a but he has got potential. He is a bit younger, 22 years old. As I say, he can potentially bring him through. So we'll see how he progresses through the season. I don't think he's got a lot of game time straight up, but Pecorino, Ravgalie and Comi will be the main stalwarts of that. Right, leaves us with one thing left to do, which we just need to have a quick look at the season preview, and do we have any players in here? We do. Pekar on the right of the Media Dream 11, so we've got one in the Media Dream 11. Have we got any others in the key players? Minelli is showing as a key player. Any more? No, just Pekar and Minelli are the two key players according to the media in this one. Titus Krapiakas, goalkeeper for Regina, a Lithuanian goalkeeper. So he is the goalkeeper that the Media Dream 11 have put as being their top goalie. And then there's a lot of Salernitana players in here, as you'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Fella being Giuseppe Fella is the one we've got to watch out for then, presumably. So they are the team to beat probably this season, which is no surprise why they are odds-on favourites to be promoted from this league. 4-5 on. Regina 13-8 are second. Both those teams relegated last season from Serie B. We are top of the pile then, third, 7-2 for promotion. And then Palermo, Avellino, Cosenza, who were also relegated last season, they're down in 6th. Juve, Sabia, Cantazzaro, Casadana, Potenza, Cavese, Paganese, Virtuos, Francaville, Vibonese, Monopoly, Olbia, Turis, Picano, Messina and Nocarina, all three promoted from Serie D. and they're all expected to drop back down again at the end of the season. We'll see. So we are at the moment, the expectation is for us to finish third. Third is where they will expect us to finish. All right, finally then, as already basically told, we will be back episode 11 for the matches against Potenza and Palermo in the next episode. And so we hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button to keep up to date with all future episodes of this and new series as they are released. New episodes of Sicilian Defence are currently released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. and if you want to keep up to date with what's happening on this channel and more, why not follow me on Twitter at JustOffside2 is where you need to be. Thank you for watching and hope to see you on the next episode, which will be episode 11. First 2 games of the full season, and it will be out on Tuesday. Till then, goodbye.